I am here. This is X35 Earthwalker, the one true Earthwalker, the legendary Eternal Soldier himself, and welcome back to another awesome podcast episode. And when this gets put into a video, I hope you guys have an awesome day today. I just wanted to talk about an amazing game. I want to talk about Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Now, if you want to know deeper, more details what I think about the game and stuff, I've got multiple videos up on the channel where I've given my early thoughts on it, given a full review on it, and responded to some, rebuttals to me and some of the stuff I've seen, online, clearing things up. Still, no one has been able to debunk me. No one has been able to prove me wrong. I'm called smartest person in the world for a reason and the best gamer in the world. So, they don't stand a chance. Of course not. And if you want to know more about some of my qualifications, these don't matter, but they add more weight to my words. I am a writer and I'm also a game developer. Unlike a majority of the hate mob and idiots on the internet who have accomplished nothing. But as far as out here, I wanted to talk about this because Dragon Age Veilguard, as you know, is the latest release right now in the Xbox Game Pass. It's like Xbox has been, dear gosh, Xbox is on fire. They're number one. They're above PC, they're above Nintendo, they're above PlayStation, who's at the very bottom. They have released so many games. And some of the most recent big bangers like Wu-Chang, The Feathers Be Fallen, and now the latest one is Dragon Age: The Veilguard. And I knew this would come eventually to the Game Pass, and I was glad it is. And more people, much more people, have been able to jump on it now. And some are like, I'm just going to give my own opinion. And some people are, okay, now that it's available, I'm going to give it a try. Because remember, like I said, Game Pass has helped out a lot of people financially. Things are more expensive. Things are tougher. There's a lot of people, even in rich places like London, who are struggling financially. They haven't got £70 for a game. They haven't got £60 for a game. They haven't got, $80 for a game and stuff like that. The industry's getting more expensive, so they're raising their prices. And it's understandable from a business and economical standpoint. But as consumers, we hate it, but that's the reality of it. And so now that it's there available, these people can try it for themselves. And I'm seeing more positivity about this game. And it's good to see that more people are starting to, learn to think for themselves and come to the conclusion of these games. And I can tell you right now, right off the bat, Dragon Age Veilguard is an amazing game. It is an amazing game. Do not listen to the fools. Do not listen to the hate mob. Do not listen to the idiots. They did the same thing with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh, wow. There's a black guy, so the racists got mad and called it woke DI and all this kind of stuff, and they attacked the game, and the game ended up doing very well. Became one of the best-selling games of the year, and had a lot of positive. I've seen some great gameplay now, or is it Naui? I don't know. I call her now, but if it's Naui, then it is. Her at max level end game with her abilities. She's not even an assassin anymore. She literally freaking can be in Marvel Comics or DC with her abilities. It's crazy. But yeah, Dragon Age Veilguard is easily, in my opinion, the best of all the Dragon Age games. And I'm not the only one who thought this. Again, I've shown on previous videos feedback for the Xbox review section where they give their comments and they give their own thoughts and stuff like that. There are multiple who have said it's their best Dragon Age game. I haven't got to speak with someone who's I'll say the hardest core Dragon Age fan. Only if they played all the Dragon Age games, and they knew about Dragon Age Heroes as well. Most people don't seem to know about Heroes. That person has also read some of the Dragon Age books as well. And at the time, yes, I did not know the books. Remember, I'm new to Dragon Age. I didn't play the previous ones. They were always available on Xbox Game Pass. I looked at them. I found them boring. I wasn't interested in them at all, and I didn't care about them. Dragon Age Veilguard was what got me into Dragon Age. Now I'm interested in Dragon Age because of Veilguard, and the next big thing that they bring out, and another Dragon Age is coming, by the way. I'm looking forward to it. I now care about Dragon Age, the Kunari, the Grey Wardens, all this kind of. I care about this stuff now. So now I'm in there because of that. It's like with the anime, One Piece. I was interested in One Piece, and they introduced me not by the start of One Piece. They introduced me at Marineford, and I got into One Piece from there. So, I got into Dragon Age from the latest release, which is Veilguard. I say right now, Dragon Age Veilguard is easily one of the best RPGs of our modern time. And easily. I mean, didn't it also get RPG of the Year by DICE? Then DICE did their awards and stuff like that. So it has been an award-winning game as well. It's got multiple 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10, 9.5, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5s. And even I officially gave it a 9 out of 10. It's worthy for 10 out of 10. The amount of work and stuff has gone into it is 10 out of 10 worthy. I'm not mad at anyone for giving it 10 out of 10. But because of a number of things that they've done, which for their level as a developer, they're not new, they're not indie. There's not one dude working on the game. It's not like the two people who did Enchanted Portal. It was just two people with no game design experience. And they did the best they could. And they made something great. Enchanted Portals, show them mercy, right? This is an experienced team. It's like, okay, you guys can't be doing stuff like this. And two things that they did, I said, y'all did that on purpose. So because of all that, I deducted 1 mark. I gave it 9 out of 10 instead of a deserved 10 out of 10. You know, but you do some foolish decisions or whatever, you gotta pay the price, right? It is just what it is. I would have to pay the price. Like, God is not a respecter of persons, so neither can I be. I can't be like, hey, this group of here is my favorite developers, I give them a 10. No, don't be like that. That's what people like to listen to what I have to say. I'm very unbiased about it. I just give it neutral. I just said it as it is. I tell it like it is. Now, Dragon Age of Veilguard is an amazingly beautiful looking game. You're gonna see the gameplay with this video that when I put up on YouTube. You're gonna be seeing me, especially at the start of the video, just looking around this environment. I mean, I think it's the ossuary. It's an underwater facility, basically. And when you look at the shining, the rainbow spectral, the water, the lights, the walls, the details on the walls, the patterns, and all that kind of stuff, that's detail. Like, I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that Dragon Age Veilguard, the developers at BioWare, they put in there that is just unnecessary. But it shows they worked hard on the game. And that is one of the reasons why anybody who says that the game is slop is just probably just full on retarded. Because slop, let's take a look at slop right here. I'm going to go for the official definition right here. I just typed in. Let's see. Ooh. And according to these definitions, you got, this was talking about a literal, a spill or a liquid, And so typically as a result of careless handling, you got dressed in untidy or casual manners. Oh, wow. Casual equals slop as well. Wow. It says, especially in prison, it says empty the contents of a chamber pot. Oh, for frick's sake. Waste. And it's waste. It's basically talking about, this one here. So basically, no effort. No effort. And that's the main one I want to go with when I say slop. No effort, haphazardly put together. When you look at this game, especially when I think I showed it in a bit further on in the gameplay, you'll get to that point in the video. I'm looking at a section in Oliphant Forest, and the game just looks so gosh darn beautiful. Matter of fact, I got the game up here right now. I like to have this here in case I want to quickly look up something. I'm looking at the mist in the distance. The clouds over there, the mountains, that shimmering rainbow effect, the refracted light over there, that glowing sheen on the statue, the bow, the levitating rocks, oh my goodness. And even how these, you say banners, these flags, I'm gonna say banners, how they're just blowing in the wind, the animation of it, and it's not even on a heavy repeat. It's got some variety to it as well. Just get the average bum right now on the internet to sit down on the computer, and they can use CAD if they want to. They're not gonna be. You can hear the ice cream van's going past. Let's slow down, Mr. Ice Cream Man. Come back with a screwball. But for real, the average bum could never animate a flag like this. Animation. Anyone who's in animation could tell you it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. So I look at these trees, and I look at these banners, and I look at that. That's work. Dear gosh, that's work. It's work, because right now I hold down Y, I charge up this attack. Look at the animation, and you're gonna see it in the video as well when I'm doing combat. Look where my character places her legs, how she staggers and then regains her form and all of that. I have done motion capture before. I know it sounds like I've done everything. I've done a lot. The Lord Jesus has blessed me, and he's gonna bless me much more. Or he's the Son of God, he's coming back again, turn to him, right? And I can tell you right now, to get that level, because there's levels to motion capture as well. It's not just, I'm just going to go in and everybody gets the same results. No. It's not like that. It also depends on your software too. Let's just say, to get this kind of movement, to get that kind of feet placement and that precision, that's work. So when you look at the graphics, you look at the animations, you look at the visuals, you look at the particles, you look at the lights, you look at everything that's in there. I mean, even the menu screen. When I have my characters right here, this gorgeous woman that I created, right? She's in this rotated square, so it's like a diamond, and it's got the fractured rock parts right there that's fragmented over there, and the different shades of purple, not gray, the different shades of purple. You guys have got the wrong book. Right, the shade of purple, that ring right there. I'm not gonna lie, that looks like a structure that belongs in Halo Infinite. It's just the wrong color. That looks clean. When you see all that, It does not fit the definition of slop. So if we're going with definition of slop, careless, no effort, haphazardly put together, what you call it, typically a result of careless handling, that doesn't apply to Veilguard. That doesn't apply to Veilguard at all. So anyone who calls it slop, ignore their opinion. It's invalid. It's because they're stupid. It's a straight up lie. There are games that I don't like or don't care for, but they're not slop. I believe 100% Bloodborne is in the top 2 most overrated games of all time. Like, for frick's sake, man. Alright, overrated. But that game is not slop. If I call it slop, you have the right to call me an idiot for that. It's not. So can we be honest and real, what's slop and what's not? And this is the internet hating. I know it is. Oh, there's body scars in the customization. Wow, I didn't even know you're so fragile and not triggered, boy. It's called don't pick it. It's called optional, right? I don't know why you would give your character those ugly scars anyway. I didn't. I made the most beautiful and attractive character I can make. Speaking of character customization in this game is top tier. With what's available, you can make a really cool, character. I challenge myself to make the most attractive character I can. And I think I've done a good job. I named her Savalera. She's elven. And this, from the details to nose ridge, your mouth, there's a lot there. You can really get into that and pump out a really cool, character. It's detailed. I have 2 negatives about the character customization. 2 negatives, and if you want to know about that, again, look at my previous videos, look at my previous episodes. You can learn about those for yourself. And they've done a great job on that. Again, that's detailed. That's not slop. Right? You can make better looking characters than any previous Dragon Age games, unless you guys can show me something fantastic. And I'll say this right now. Dragon Age Veilguard has got the best hair and hair physics in all of gaming. Dear gosh, my girl's hair is crazy. She makes me wish I have her hair. For frick's sake. And it wouldn't suit me. I'm a man. I'm Jamaican. I can't be out here rocking this long, curly blue hair like I'm Siegfried. What the heck is this? The Ron, how the hair moves and it's bouncy? What hair conditioner is she using? I want to know. It's crazy. Right? This is great stuff. So if we go based on just from the technical point of view of the game, from its looks, its sounds, its animations, its designs, they're all top tier, 9 to 10 out of 10s, right off the board from those things. And I'll say the music is one of the game's weaker part. The music you hear at the starting screen and to lean to the menu and stuff, I like it because it's orchestrated. You guys know me. I became a bit of a sucker for fully orchestrated music and stuff. I like that stuff. I respect the amount of work that goes into making those kind of music because, as you know, I make music as well. X35 Earthwalker, I swear you make everything. Can you stop the cap? I do! Well, 2 of the games that I've made, I had to make the main music for those. And then, the music for my montage video, my Gears of War montage, my Halo montage, I made that myself as well. Yes, I make music. I'm a beat maker too. Right? But I'll tell you right now, I can just hop on right now on my computer and make a nice beat. Something that gets you tapping your feet and moving your shoulders, But to make fully orchestrated music, you can't just jump on an app like GarageBand or whatever and just whip that up. That's just not happening. You need a team. You need a squad. You need the instruments. You need a conductor. And I ain't talking about the soul conductor. See, that's a reference. If you know, you let me know. If you don't know, your IQ needs to get better. But I still love you. Jesus loves you more. And so I'm just, again, Dragon Age Veilguard is in the Xbox Game Pass. It's free for you to play if you're an Xbox Game, subscriber. Jump on and give it a try for yourself. If you don't like it, just uninstall. You guys know my history of the game. I was brought that EA trial thing, that's given to me, and I was able to try it. I got 5 hours for free to play off the game. And I didn't need the 5 hours. You don't need 5 hours to know if a game is great or if you like it or not, right? I got on there, and by 1 hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, I was already feeling it. I was like, yo, what is the internet talk about? I said, once again, they're being stupid. I said, this game is great. And the more I played it, the more I liked it. Then I ended up purchasing it, and I ended up playing it. I did my first playthrough. Can't remember how many hours. How many hours? You know what? I'm gonna I'm going to round it down and say 75 hours on my first playthrough. 75 hours. I think it was 80, but let's round it down, right? That's like the play as the rogue, and I think as the rogue, I got 30 hours on that, and now I'm the warrior, and I think the warrior, I'm now 5 hours and a half. So I got over 100 hours in this game, right? And, well, it's quite clear, but I actually like it. You know, and I can tell you, it is a great adventure. It's definitely a magical and well done RPG. It's really good, and the story as well, what you're dealing with, and seeing some characters like Solus and Varric, and, you know, doing things, you know, going in a different direction. Because people will say it's not like the previous Dragon Age games. It's like, well, that's the whole point. I mean, I spoke to some Dragon Age fans, and they've agreed on this as well. They said, okay, when Dragon Age, you know, 2 came out, people complained and said that it's different from Origins. And then when Inquisition came out, the same thing. It was different from 2. And then Veilguard comes out, and now it's different from all 3 of them. And it's like, well, that's just been the pattern. It's like people have amnesia, and I get it. Remember, Inquisition was 10 years ago, and I told you guys, 10 years, you know, a decade is a long time. 10 years is a freaking long time. Nothing stays the same in 10 years. Like, it's like my home church got upgrades and modifications and new equipment stuff within the last 10 years. You know, everybody, like, come on. If you're right, again, I say this right now. If you are 30 and you're watching or listening to me or watching this right now, 10 years ago, you were 20, boy. You were 20. From a full grown adult to a youngster. Just finished being a teenager. Probably in uni and all that, university studying, all that kind of stuff. 10 years ago was a long time, man. Do you know how many people are born and died in 10 years? Game developer studios have changed in 10 years. Some shut down, some rechanged. New staff, promotions, demotions, firings, all this kind of stuff. 10 years. New software, new equipment, new graphic cards, new consoles. 10 years ago, there was no Xbox Series X. Can we be real? 10 years ago was a long freaking time. You really think this game's gonna look the same like Inquisition after 10 years with new directions and all that stuff and things you can work with and engines? 10 years is different. So of course it's going to be different from the previous Dragon Age. That doesn't make it bad. You got to try things. People like to hang Halo for trying different things, and Halo just keeps getting better. Come on. 10 years is a long time. You can't expect this game to have stayed the same way. That's not going to happen. And I probably, you can see right now in the videos and all that, the combat in this game. The combat is easily the best Dragon Age has ever been. It's got one of the best combat in all of RPGs of modern time. You know, it's better combat than, obviously it's a different style. Obviously a different style. But I prefer its combat over Skyrim and stuff. Elder Scrolls beats all of those. You know, the only one who can be up there will be Starfield, Avowed, you know, that kind of stuff. They have the better combat systems and stuff. It's loaded. And I talked about the combat enough as it is. From everything that's in there. Like, if you're a player, because right now, my third playthrough and the one I want to get to end with right now, because I enjoy Rogue, I like it, and I did a great job of it, but I'm feeling Warrior more. My favorite, of course, is the Mage. Mage is my favorite, and the Mage is the best, right? But Warrior is a second right now. It's moved up the ladder, Rogue is third. And this combat, I mean, you got so much. You've got the light attack, and the light attack combo. You got the heavy attack and the heavy attack combo. You've got a sprinting light and heavy attack. You've got a jumping light and heavy attack, and you've got an evasion light and heavy attack. That's more than Bloodborne and all them Souls games and Elden Ring like games and stuff like that. Dude, like that alone is a lot. Then you have your projectile move. Like, of course, if you're with the rogue, it's your bow and arrow with rechargeable arrows, right? If you're the warrior, you have your shield. And dear gosh, look at the design of my shield right here. Again, details, design. Look at the shimmer and the light. And look at the light bounce off. Like, see, this is details that I've seen in Starfield. Why did they do all this? Just for people to still hate on that game. This shows that they worked on it. This is extra. This is beautiful. This shield, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like royal knights who are standing there guarding the throne. The king and queen are right there, just like, you know, getting drunk on grapes, bro. And they're just standing with the shield. Oh, it's got the elven crest on it. Oh, that's clean. I don't know if y'all can see this right now. That's so freaking clean. But yeah, that's amazing design, right? The shield. The shield is a projectile for the warrior class. Again, the best way to describe it, you become freaking Captain America. But then if you upgrade it, you become better than Captain America. You throw the shield, or you can charge it. Hold it down. Same with the arrows. Charge it. And the mages one charges well into this like horizontal wave blast, kind of like a slash. It looks like it's coming from One Piece, right? And you just like yeet that shield, smacks the target, and it returns. So even if you throw and you miss your target and the target's running at you, like Thor's Hammer Mjolnir, it comes back and it smacks them on the way back. So it's like extra damage, bit of an insurance policy. And then you can get upgrades but with a skill where you can like have your shield bounce off multiple enemies, create like problems for the enemy, and you can even then send it back. So if you time your heavy attack with the shield returning to you, you bounce it back up to like an additional 3 times. So imagine you throw it, bounce, 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 it comes back, you hit it, bounce, 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 it comes back, you hit it, bounce, 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 and like you just keep that going. The shield toss itself becomes a way of fighting. You know? It's just like you just have to upgrade it. So the warrior is quite versatile. He's not just, hammer. Like, no, he actually has, a bit of a menu to his name. Right? And then so you have the projectiles that you could like throw in, and then it doesn't end there. All 3 classes have kind of like, let's say, a secondary fighting mode. So right now I have my big axe, 2-handed big great axe, swinging that hoe, knocking them enemies around, staggering them with each mighty blow, and just like bashing their heads in, right? But if I press, I think is it down on the D-pad or is it up on the D-pad? What are those? I think. Hold on, let me just look right now. I'm on the game right now. It is yes, it's down on the D-pad. If I press down on the D-pad, I then go to sword and shield, and then of course we put the shield. I'm blocking and I'm just striking with my sword and stuff like that. Every single character is capable of parrying, so you have a parry on top of all of that. You have the parry, and if you time at the right time, you can reflect or deflect, but mostly reflect back projectiles that come at you from magical spells like fireballs and voltage strikes, all the way to even just like simpler projectiles like arrows in that regards. You can just like send them back to the owner. Shout out to DJ Nicholas, check his song out, Back to the Owner, good song, right? And that becomes, I'll say quite a stable thing. Obviously the warrior is the best at blocking because of the great big shield in your hand, but that works pretty much well. Then there is the evade, so you can just press B to do like a kind of like a dash. You dash to the side, a hop, dodge, and that thing. But if you double tap it, you then go straight that convert it into a roll. So full on action roll, Elden Ring style sort of. You can just like dodge and move around. You're very agile. All 3 classes are fast for what they do. I think the most speed though, I'm not gonna lie, how that speed with a mage or the rogue, they seem to have that kind of clear advantage. But I'm telling you, the combat gets crazy. And then you can have like charge attack to hold it down to deliver like a crushing blow. And then of course there are your abilities. You carry 3 abilities. Most of these games now just have 3 abilities equipped at a time, and you use them. I right now have driving kick, which is basically a drop kick. I think it's the best drop kick in all of video game history. And believe me, there are some amazing drop kicks out there. I.e. Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2 has such a satisfying drop kick with so much active frames. Like, heck, you would hate that move if this was Street Fighter 6. Like, I sent zombies flying in Dead Island 2 with that drop kick. But this driving kick in Dragon Age Veilguard is better. Like, first of all, you don't just jump and just throw your weight into there. Actually, when you land the kick, you push so hard, your character bounces off and rolls back, and it gets up onto their feet again. Again, the animation on that is so cool. And we look at the effect when they charge at how to kick. It's like you're kicking with almost a meteoric burst of an attack. And the enemies get sent flying far with huge force. I would like someone to do the math and calculate the force of that kick. I've used it to send enemies literally flying off the edge of a map, and they're just falling out. They're gone. Like, big dude kicked him, he's off the edge, like instant death, and I get my points and experience points. Like, that's just great, right? It is satisfying to use. It does high damage. It detonates weakened, which again, if you want to know more about these, I guess you can say status effects and stuff, and how you can like overlay them, and then it leads to some effects and like gives you advantages and stuff like that. I talked about that in previous episodes. But this kick also gives a high amount of stagger, and stagger is another thing. There's damage and then there's stagger, and once the stagger bar basically fills up, you can do like a what's it called? It's like an assassination, but it's not called an assassination. I can't remember what it's called. Let me just go into the skill tree right now. No, that's stagger, Takedown. That's it. I found it before I even saw it on the screen. I remembered it before I even saw it on the screen. Takedown. And that's great. If you build an entire build around it, it gets crazy, bro. I'm telling you, it gets crazy. But back to like what I was saying, I've also got Titan Stomp. No Attack on Titan, but this is as good as it's gonna get, right? That move is on a cooldown, so it's not using any of my rage. It's just time based. And that Stomp, that's high stagger damage, knocks everyone down, hits them in a bit of a daze. It's just great area control move, for real. It works. I can't see myself replacing Titan until a deeper way into the game. And this move probably looks the most satisfying. Like, this looks powerful. It's called Fury of the Forge. Listen to the description, by the way. It says, burning steel blades rain down on your enemies. I'm looking at this right now. It looks like these swords are bigger than my character in size. So first of all, who's dropping these? Helios from Greek mythology? Like who's dropping these? The sun god of Dragon Age? Like, these blades just come down from the sky looking like shots from, like, if it was coming from the ships in Helldivers 2, because it's not big enough to be a Mac Blast from Halo, like a frigate class or something like that. No, but like, it rains down. And not only that, it applies burning to the enemy as well. So you know the Darkspawn do not like that. You know, it's such a cool looking move. They got abilities like this, and then they got the ultimates they have. And I'm saying this right now, this ultimate is called Flashing Fists. I am not gonna lie, this is a move that I can imagine the Hulk doing. The fact that our character can do that as a warrior means how freaking strong. Again, our character can box in DC or Marvel, because this is power that, again, you will see the Hulk do. Now, the Hulk is obviously stronger, but like, it's Flashing Fists is the one, and I put on video before, I even like YouTube shorts of it, where characters a war cry, they glow, and then they just like, they hit the ground, so they punch the ground. So it's literally a fist. Is it the right fist first? Yeah, it's right fist first. So they go boom, then left, boom, and then both overhands swing, like both hands, like the Donkey Kong. Boom, and all of this is AoE, is knock, it's like it stuns the enemy, and then they finish it with a literal drop elbow. They just jump, come down elbow, and boom, and that's the biggest one, and it just explodes, it sends enemies flying. It's such, again, look at the effects on that, and then tell me this game is slop. No, you have to be stupid. This game is freaking amazing. That is probably the best ultimate ability I think I've ever seen in an RPG. I think the other things that obviously beat that will be like dropping a meteorite. You know, the size of the whole battle arena on the enemies like coming down. You know, like Caius from Final Fantasy 13 to the story so far. Or maybe Sephiroth. You know, just dropping a giant meteorite and then seeing it burning through the atmosphere. And you know everybody's going to die. Maybe that's other thing cool. But it's just, tell me, look at Flashing Fists. Go look at online and tell me what game has this. Your character puts away the weapons. Your character said, no, I don't need swords. I got these on me, holding up the fist. I'm just looking at it right now on repeat. It's just boom, 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 and an elbow, boom. It's just so satisfying. That I tell you, if you're going to be warrior, try Flashing Fist and tell me you don't laugh the first time you see it. Like, what the heck is my character? Am I a warrior or am I the Hulk? Am I the warrior or am I Doomsday? You know, am I the warrior or am I the Juggernaut? You know, his suit's so tight. That's a reference. If you know, you know. You know, that kind of thing. And it's just like, this is just the best combat. And I showed in previous videos what other people have agreed. Like, easily, the strongest point everyone seems to overall agree with is that the combat is just excellent in Veilguard. It's the combat. They may not like the direction of the story. They may have a problem with the art style for some reason. I think that's petty. That's minor, right? The game looks better than any other Dragon Age game. Just a slightly different art style. Of course, it will be different, right? But it's like, they all agree the combat is his best feature in that regard. And the combat is the majority of what you do in games like this. You're always going to be fighting. You want to get from objective A to B, you're going to be fighting like 50 guys in between. So the fight, you're going to be doing more fighting than you're going to be talking overall in a lot of cases, right? And I put up screenshots of it, of the messages where people straight up just said, yo, the combat Veilguard is so good, it has spoiled the rest of the other Dragon Age games for me. Literally, there are people who said, yo, when I can't go back to the previous Dragon Age games, and they've admitted they prefer some of the previous Dragon Age games, but because their combat is so inferior to Veilguard's, it just ruins it for them. It's dry. It's like, when you look at the movement, the agility, the speed, the power, the fluidity, all of that, the smoothness of the combat in Veilguard, and then you go play Inquisition, it's night and day, bro. It's night and day. Someone even said that they're replaying, I think, was it Inquisition or 2? and they're being like a rogue or something like that, like the arrow class, a bow and arrow. I'm playing it and they said, man, Veilguard ruins for me. The combat is not hitting, bro. It's like, yeah, it's like having a mansion and then now you move to having that just a house. It's like, it's not the same, bro. It's just not the same. Like back then when you had a house, it's like, yeah, that was the best thing for you at the time. But then having a mansion and then going from the mansion back to the house, a house is lame now. You know, nah, man. I had a mansion, bro. I had 6 bedrooms, bro. Now I'm back to having 1 bedroom. It's like, nah, it hits different now. You know, that kind of thing. Once you taste the gold, you don't want silver or bronze. You know, that's just how it is. And then you're going to get to, I'll just say, of course, I talked about this in like more details. I talked about builds you can make and how you can build around your characters. Like already, I'm doing a bit of a build as a warrior. For example, I have also gotten the skill velocity where it says stagger from weapon attacks is increased by 20%. This is big. So I want to get enemies staggered as much as possible and as frequently as possible. And now I've got to the point where performing a takedown. Remember, they're staggered fully and the bar fills up. You perform a takedown. Now, when I do a takedown, it heals me for 250 health and grants deflect. Do you know what deflect does? Listen to this. Ignores the next impact received, resulting in no damage. So let's say enemy hits me. I don't even block. I don't even do anything. So it hits me. Bing! Bounces off. Sorry, I say no to pain. I say no to your attack. Like I'm a fifth dimensional entity. I just said no. Removed it. Doesn't apply to me. So now they stagger easy. And when I get the takedown, I heal. I get deflect. A crazy good buff, by the way. And I also have flames of victory. Gain flaming weapons on a successful takedown. So now when I do the takedown, I heal. I get deflect. Now my weapons are on fire. Flame on, no human torch, right? And it says you generate 25% more stagger from weapon hits while flaming weapons is active. So while I do a takedown, now I've got flame weapons, and now every time I'm hitting, I'm doing 25% more stagger, which then gets them to be staggered. Then I can do another takedown, and I can keep it going. So I'll be healing, gaining deflect, so they can't touch me. You can't touch me, no. You know, you can't touch me. You can't touch this. No. My bag's not puffy. You know, and I just keep it going. I just keep the train going. And if the enemy has a weakness to fire, woo, they're taking extra damage right there. Do you see what I mean when I say you could just like, just keep it going, and you can make builds, and there are more skills that you can get, which adds to the whole, you know, takedown. Like you can get staggering charge. Stagger from charge attacks is plus 20%. Do you see what I'm talking about? You could just keep it going. Stagger from abilities, plus increase by 20%. Killer Instinct. Not talking about the game. That's what this thing is called. Killer Instinct. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about? It's crazy, man. It says, oh yeah, you also convert your shield throw into explosive toss, where it's like a grenade. It's basically like throwing a frag grenade, or impact grenade, but explodes an impact. And that's what, again, is happening. And if you're interested in the lore, you can go to the Codex, which is just loaded with lots and lots of information concerning the Elven people, the Grey Wardens, the Morn Watch, the Dwarven people, the Antivan Crows, the Shadow Dragons, the Lords of Fortune, the World of Fetus itself. You got miscellaneous information right there, and then you got the mementos, which is very interesting. I was reading all of them. I have not found them all. I have to go back to my Mage 1 and 2. Whatever search I find, I'm missing one treasure chest in the Crossroad Fade of the Fades, so I could do that too. And you can learn about faders, and people say, oh, there's some things that they do completely different here in Veilguard, and it's like, yeah, well, obviously, because isn't it in the previous Dragon Age games, it all takes place in southern Fadus, like the more south part of it. And I think in Veilguard, I might have it the wrong way around, but in Veilguard, we're up in the north now, right? You know, so the previous Dragon Age games are taking part, you know, it's happening in Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi. While here in Veilguard, we up in the north. So in the north, across the continent and everything, things are different. Maybe this race didn't use magic in the previous games, but maybe they use magic here because different place, different cultures, different tribes, different traditions, and maybe different ways of life. You know, there's some things that's different for people in Scotland than it is for people who are down there in like the south of London. You know, there's some things that's different, maybe in tradition and culture, in the south of America from what's happening in the north of America. Heck, look at North Korea and South Korea. They're very, very different. North Korea is terrible. Horrible place. But what they're doing to the people, that's horrible. It's going to be very, very different. So if you care about the lore like I do now, I sat there and I read through everything that I found. I read through it all, from Harding's recipes and, Professor Emmerich sharing his recipes to comments from Tosh, to coffee talks, to shopping lists from the Gunnies, like all these different things that helps build this little bonding thing that's going on with the characters. I like all of this. And yes, I spoke about the companions before in more detail. I'm not going to be doing it again here. If you want to know more, again, you're just going to have to go to obviously my other videos and take a look from there. You can upgrade your characters. You can give them commands on what to do. They have some deadly abilities that can really set things up and just set things going. It's a lot. And lastly, I want to bring this up. Again, proof that there's so much work went into this game and it's not slop. The amount of customizable gear. How you select a gear for its stats and its abilities. It's yeah. But then you may not like the design of the armor. That is called transmog. And transmog is where you can pick another set of armor or helmet or sword and shield, whatever. This applies to all your weapons and gear, by the way. Except for the accessories like a belt and, the amulets and the rings. And so I'm going to, let's just use my medium armor, for example. I can change the look of that. I can literally pick another armor to be the visible design of it. So that's what it look like. But I have the stats of the armor that I chose originally. And as you probably see, I think near towards the end of this video, you're going to see a section where I'm just flicking through the swords. Flicking through the spears. So it should be the start. It should be the mage then. So I'm flicking through the spears. I'm flipping through the daggers. I'm just flipping through the different chest plate armors and chest pieces. I'm just flicking through that. And when you look at that, there's just so many. And that's how work went into this game. For you to just sit down and get this stuff done. There's such a thing called concept art. Someone had to sit down on paper or whatever, design, draw out a design, a more simpler sketch to give ideas at what they want something to look like and emphasize what's different about this piece from another. And there's never just one. Remember, in game design, most things get thrown out. Most things don't get used. Most things end up in the bin or maybe saved for another project to come. Think about it. When they were designing the Master Chief from Halo, John. The closest people, we call him John, right? And they wanted to create his Mjolnir armor. That wasn't a one take. I'm not going to speak for them. It most likely wasn't a one take. I looked at some behind the scenes stuff. I seen different concept art for the armor, so it wasn't a one take, right? Someone sat down and they did a bunch of armor. Maybe the leg platings were more chunky. Maybe the upper torso was more built. Maybe it was skinnier. Maybe it was more, looks like an endoskeleton design, for the limbs and stuff. All of these different things. Shading here, putting more color here. And then the leader, the boss, maybe it's art director, maybe it's the head of the whole thing itself, the lead game designer himself, looks at it and it's no, maybe, no, yes, no, maybe, no. And now they're down to maybe 6. And maybe they did 50 or 30 or 20. But maybe 6 gets picked, 5 gets picked, 4, 3, 2, whatever it is. And they're selected. And then they make that the real thing. Whether they use CAD or whatever it is, they're going to bring it in. Right? Look how much different armor and stuff and designs there is for the sword, the shield, the armor, and all of that. To think someone designed every single one of them. A few of them are color swaps, which is good because sometimes you like this, but you just wish it was a different color. That works. Come on, we've all been sharpened, right? And it's a lot. And when you look at the gameplay video, I haven't got all the items. I haven't got them. You see a big chunk of them is still locked. I don't even know where they're locked or why. I did every side quest. I searched everywhere in that regard. There's sucker, I'm missing half. It's I only got 45% of it and 55% is still locked. And I have over 70 hours in that game. That's crazy. But of course, many more new games and stuff has come out that I'm playing. And this is a single player game. Once you beat it, you beat it. That's it. But we know they are not done with Veilguard. Especially with the deal that they've now gotten with Xbox Game Pass. They are going to be able to make another one. I'm looking forward to the next Dragon Age game. So don't listen to idiots online who got hate agendas and just being stupid, shutting down games, crying woke like a bunch of stupid babies. Instead, it's here. you can try it for yourself with the Xbox Game Pass. Think for yourself. And don't let people be like, we have overly negative people when it comes to video games. Every game that comes out, people just gotta be negative and hate on it for something. We don't enjoy games like we used to when we were younger and kids and stuff, and just found these games cool and just play for fun. And what we didn't like, we just said no. And we did enjoy about worrying about sales and all this nonsense. This is an amazing adventure. It is an amazing game. I had a blast of it. So did many others. I showed in previous videos where the vast majority of the Xbox reviews and stuff was positive. A lot of people was enjoying and playing the game, and it's just a lot of noise online and make it sound like it was really bad. It's won awards. It is a lot of fun. It has a great story, especially when you hear two gods like orally clashing, just like basically roasting each other, and you hear them above like loud booming voices while you're fighting on the ground like you're a pawn, but then you're dealing with gods, and it is great. And yes, it's Dragon Age Veilguard. There are dragons. I prefer the dragon fights here than the dragons in fights in Elden Ring. And Elden Ring's a 10 out of 10 game. I've beaten it. I've done Placidus attacks and all that kind of stuff. But boy, I truly enjoy this. I'll say give it a try. It's available in the Xbox Game Pass. Have an awesome day, everyone. Thank you for listening. And regardless of what's going on, make sure to do the Earthwalk. And I'll see you guys around.